It's time now for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Central Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Sears Hometown Store, locally owned and operated right here in Mountain Home.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas, Southern Missouri. It is Tuesday, March 10th, 2020. It's 7 a.m. Central Daylight Time.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, how's David today?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm fine, and our guest today is Mr. Ty Cotter, Pastor Ty Cotter, Care Center Ministries. Going to be visiting with Ty here in a few minutes. Always good to see Ty Cotter.
Yes, sir.
He's a busy guy, but he's got some great news for us. That'll be coming up in a bit. So,
excellent.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the rain yesterday?
No.
Why not? It got all your new cars dirty, didn't it?
It just kind of slows people down from coming in.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's kind of a slow, yucky day. But anyway, it's still, it's rather warm, 43 degrees outside. Maybe get a little bit warmer today, but a little bit more rain in the forecast. Mm-hmm. Hey, I want to invite you to visit David over at Ultimate Ford. Yep.
Very good.
Need a new Ford truck or a car or something like that? No, see David at Ultimate Ford. Some great deals going on, I'm sure.
Thanks, sir.
You betcha.
Oh, yeah. 19 models need to go, so we stripped out everything. If you want to bargain on a 19, come see me.
There you go. Yeah.
For sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ultimate Ford. Go see David Stroud today at Ultimate Ford, right here in Mountain Home. Hey, Down on the Corner is brought to you by your local hometown Sears store at 1029 Highway 62 East. They were here yesterday. I'm sure they had a good time talking about Sears. Home appliances, home entertainment, yard maintenance items, tractors, rototillers, weed eaters, whatever it may be. Tools.
Yep.
Yeah, tools.
Work on anything.
You betcha. And they've got their maintenance program. They've got the repair center. I mean, Sears does it all right here in Mountain Home. They're at 1029 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Orchland's is here. Physical Therapy Connection here. You got the Sherman-Williams building here with Sears right there facing south. You open the front door from Sears.
Smell Wendy's.
You can smell Wendy's.
Right on.
Can't say enough good things about Sears. Love Sears. I mean, was with them for about 14, 15 years here in town. We're a catalog sales office, great folks, and
it was really neat looking at that catalog yesterday.
Yeah, I've got a 1986 Sears catalog, which was the Centennial edition.
Yeah.
And so now the Centennial's 34 years old, but what'd you find in there? Was it?
Oh, the motorcycle stuff was what I thought
Really?
was neat. I mean, stuff for Jeeps.
Yeah.
Yeah, automotive galore.
Oh.
You could buy just about anything. It was crazy.
Goodness, yeah.
And then, of course, the appliances were very ugly.
Did they? Copper tone gas.
Everybody, they were ugly.
Lime green, yellow.
Yeah, it wasn't right at all.
Yeah. You could tell it come out of the 70s and the 80s.
You were right. Yeah.
Did they have exhaust systems still in there? You used to be able to order tailpipes and crossover pipes for V8 engines in there.
It was crazy what was in there.
Shock absorber, all kinds. Hey, check out your local hometown Sears store. Tell you what, they do a great job, and they're locally owned. You say, well, no, Sears is having trouble. No, that's the corporate. That's Grandpa up in Chicago. And they're getting their deals worked out with Kmart and all that stuff. So, but right here, the folks at Sears, they're ready to help you today. They really are, and they'll bend over backwards to help you. Then just great service, great folks there at your hometown Sears store right here in Mountain Home, 1029 Highway 62 East. I think I'm going to sneeze.
No.
That's terrible. You may have to put the camera on yourself for a minute. I can't get past the sneeze.
I don't have a camera that'll just be on me. I'm sorry. That's too vain.
Maybe this will pass.
Yeah.
Oh, we're enjoying Brewed Awakening coffee right here. Ty's got some. I've got some. David's got some coffee. Mm-hmm. And Brewed Awakening Coffee, 3 locations to serve you. You got Baxter Regional Lobby, just been remodeled. They've got a nice coffee shop there at Baxter Regional. You've got 62 East Plaza. You got Bomber Boulevard, which is 7:03 in the morning, 7:04. Be a little bit busy between 9 and 8 o'clock. Yep. But nevertheless, the best coffee in town.
I've already drank almost this.
I'm on my second cup.
Yeah.
I had to go get a refill.
I can't believe I've done this to myself. I'm gonna have to wait till
and
the
Ty's
commercial.
working on Ty's. Almost he's about ready for a refill over here to warm up.
It's that good.
It's that good.
Yeah.
Hey, you're invited to come have coffee with us sometime. We're at 1226 Commerce Drive right here in Mountain Home. Where's Commerce Drive? Pizza Hut's here, Pizza Inn North, right here on the right inside the meat shop's right out the back door here.
Right.
So come by and have some coffee with us. Love to have you. And enjoy the best coffee in town, Brewed Awakening. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good coffee.
Don't do it.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bringing the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect, is not just a motto, it's how they do business. Whenever you lose a loved one, you think, oh no, what do I do now? I don't know what to do. You're sad, you're hurt, you're confused. Let Rollers handle it.
Yeah.
They've got 29 roller funeral homes in the state of Arkansas with one in Memphis, Tennessee. Let rollers handle it. Caring, professional, understanding, loving, they'll help you. They know what to do. And so just let them handle it. Roller funeral homes with all our respect. You can talk to Charlotte, Brad, Bruce, Chris, anyone out there can help you, steer you in the right direction. And so it's what they do. And so let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, my prayer this morning is for those suffering from addictions. Lord, no one wants to be a slave to a drug or a substance. Whether the substance is perhaps an illegal drug or maybe even a prescription, Lord, I can't believe anyone wants to be hooked on anything. With all the services that will help people with addictions, I pray these folks will seek the help they need. But Lord, most of all, help us as Christians to help these people in need and not to categorize them something as derogatory. Lord, I pray, please help us end our dependency on drugs. And that's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas bring morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes. Brace yourself. Do, 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 do. Ooh, been practicing.
That one felt good. That one came
That was nice. That was
Wow.
nice.
I'm impressed.
That was nice.
Doc Severinsen. Woo. Winston Marsalis.
I don't know who that is.
Al Hurt.
Yeah. That era missed us.
Kids today.
Who is that?
What?
Is it Doc, what?
Doc Severinsen?
Yeah.
He was the band leader on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson for about 30 years, and he was a featured soloist on Three Coins in the Fountain with Ray Conniff in 1962. Winston Marsalis was a trumpeter when Jay Leno took over the
Okay.
Tonight Show. He was a jazz trumpeter.
See, I
I've
never
got some
watched
albums.
Carson,
Yeah,
so.
Winston Marsalis is pretty cool. He's a good trumpet player.
Very nice.
You have heard of Al Hurt.
Moving on.
Next.
His big hit was Java in 1964 for RCA.
I was born in 79.
You missed out. All these kids today. Oh, my goodness. Morning Weather brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zador for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. They need listings. They need
Yes.
listings. You're thinking about selling, call them, and they will discuss it with you. 870-405-0793. Retire2Arkansas.net. That's where we find the beautiful shot of the White River.
Mm-hmm.
The lights are on in the city of Cotter. The White River Bridge, the 62-412 bridge, the river coming through. Cloud cover right now at 7:07 in the morning as the days progress to be a little bit longer.
Yeah. I like it when the lights are on.
Yeah, real pretty shot. Now you can go to Retire2Arkansas.net, and where you're checking out all the properties and maybe perhaps send an email or something, you can look at this. And you can there's a camera icon you can click on and save the picture that you like throughout the day.
Yeah.
And save it as a desktop or a screensaver or whatever it may be. And so the Z-Team, for all your real estate needs, seriously, they need some listings.
Yes, they do.
You have an award-winning team right here. They came in with the Centurion Award, the Presidential Award, all types of prestigious awards through Century 21 for their sales, their customer service, and for what they do. They're not part-time, they're full-time times 3.
Yeah, team.
Seriously,
Yeah.
I mean,
You'll
you can
always
call
be
them
able
any
to
time
get
of day or
hold
night, whether you need property in Calico Rock, Reese is down
Exactly.
there. You got Sam McMaster's up here, darling, over in Marion County, Arkansas, or Missouri, it doesn't matter. West Plains, Gainesville, anywhere in between, Marshall, Arkansas, Mountain View, Batesville, Mountain Home, whatever it may be. Give them a call, the Z-Team. They're ready to serve you, but they need listings. So if you're thinking about selling, now is the time to
real
get
estate
that
is
house
hot.
listed. Yeah,
That's right.
So once again, the Z-Team at 870-405-0793. Right now, morning weather brought to you by the Z-Team. We're at 43 degrees in Mountain Home, 44 at Flippin, Harrison at 40, 44 in Yellville, Salem at 43, same in Calico. Mountain View gets the award for warm spot of the morning at 50, 42 in St. Louis, 50 up. Poplar Bluff just beat out Mountain View, 54 Poplar Bluff.
Oops.
This sounds like first half basketball scores here. Poplar Bluff 54, Mountain View 50,
Right.
West Plains at 42, 39 at Branson, and a heat wave in Watford City, North Dakota at 27 this morning. Interesting.
Not quite swimming weather. It's got to
No,
hit
it's got to
30.
warm up about 3 or 4 more degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, 32, 33, then you get the water, you get the pool out and start swimming in North Dakota. On the national radar, we'll start up north, Vancouver, Victoria area, Washington, British Columbia area. They get the usual shower every day. We do have some showers down around the Los Angeles, California area, all the way over into Las Vegas, Nevada, and Phoenix getting some showers. It's raining in the desert. What do you know about that? And so we have a little bit of shower activity, some freezing precip throughout Nebraska and South Dakota, and a little bit in North Dakota, but not much. All right, now the main line of precip starts in down around New Orleans, comes across Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Carolinas, parts of Tennessee, Indianapolis, Indiana, getting some showers. Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Harrisburg, all the way up into the New England area, Quebec, getting some snow right now, light freezing precip. Overall in Arkansas, though, right here at home, I think we're in pretty good shape. We'll take a quick look at this, center that up. And let me move it over here so we get a little center. There we go. Highway 62 412 is in good shape, as well as Highway 65 from Conway, Little Rock to Branson. Highway 67 167, Little Rock, Batesville, Poplar Bluff for the highway split. Your interstates 30, 40, 49, 55, 555, all in good shape as we speak. It could change. And I don't see anything going on there. Check Missouri real quick. The Boot Hill, Missouri, with no shower activity right now. St. Louis area in good shape. Kansas City area, Springfield looks good. Your interstates 49, 44, 70, 55, all looking good right now. I-64 East St. Louis, Illinois, towards Mount Vernon, Illinois, no problems there. A little bit of the shower activity crosses the state line there at Paducah, Kentucky, a little bit south of Evansville, Indiana, on highway, that'd be I-64. Other than that, we're in pretty good shape.
Looks good.
Yep, not bad. Let's see what it says here. No watches and warnings for Arkansas or Missouri right now, so we're in good shape there. For today, decreasing clouds, high of 62. Tonight, 30% chance of showers with a low of 47. Wednesday, it's going to rain, 90% chance throughout the day, high of 67. 40% chance on Wednesday night. 70% on Thursday, 60% Thursday night, 30% Friday. Friday night, 70% chance Saturday. 80% chance. Temperature ranges from 62, 67 to 72 on Thursday to 56 on Friday, 50 on Saturday. Our lowest low will be 39 perhaps on Friday night. Other than that, we're in pretty good shape. Not bad. Checking I-Drive Arkansas on your highway situation. We have several accidents around the state. Over here along the Mississippi River, we've got an accident on Highway 242, a half mile south of State Highway 85. Another accident right here. This is on Highway 167 in Grant County. It's in Sheridan. It's in the northbound lane. Have another accident on I-30. Oh, this is a disabled stalled vehicle, exit 116, eastbound side right shoulder on I-30. Showing you this so when you travel throughout the state of Arkansas, whether it's this morning or later on in the week, you can check and see, you know what these icons mean. You can also check Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Tennessee from this vantage point. Checking the state of Missouri right now, everything's in good shape. There's no flood watch boxes along 160 or Highway 60 in Missouri. Highway 65 in good shape. Highway 67 going up into St. Louis from Poplar Bluff looks good. And no snow or ice in the northern part of the state. So that's all good. Not bad at all. Once again, the morning weather is brought to you by the Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, for all your real estate needs, 870-405-0793. Seriously, they need listings.
Yeah.
And if you think, well, you know, we've been thinking maybe this house may be too big or this house may be too small. Could be a young family, may have one or two children and maybe another child on the way. We need that extra bedroom. Why don't we look at a little bit bigger home? Call the Z-Team. They're ready to serve you right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so need to downsize a little bit. Whatever the situation, if you're a veteran, talk to Bob and Linda Zadora because they've got the Veterans Relocation Program. They can help you with that.
Yep.
I mean, they are ready to go. Call the Z-Team, 870-405-0793. Community calendar, what do we got today? The Pites House Women's Retreat will be March 27 through 29. And if you're currently going through or recently completed your cancer treatment, you deserve some needed pampering. So for this event, the Pites House Women's Retreat, you can call 870-508-2273 for more information there. March 26th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. is the Lake Norfolk Striper Club monthly meeting at Eastside Baptist Church. Starts at 7 o'clock. Guest speaker Jeremy Risley from the Arkansas Game and Fish will update on the latest stocking news and other information. And How to Thrive, Pites Cancer Support House, How to Thrive with Alicia Chenkowski, the fourth Thursday of the month at 3 p.m. This is the Pites Cancer Support House through Baxter Regional. And so, that gives us all the news we need. Right now, oil is trading at $34.16. Yeah, $20 off the barrel. Woo! I want to see those gas prices drop.
That's right.
Okay, it's time for a quick break. Ty Cotter's here from Kerosene and Ministries. Going to be visiting with him through 8 o'clock, so stick around. We're going to be right back.
When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrubs stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands, including Carhartt, Vera Bradley, Urbane, and Grey's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Skechers, Nursemates, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractables, compression socks, paramedic VDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing embroidery and minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop. At Cotter Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Cotter Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Cotter Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
Hi, we're Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, and we'd like you to meet the rest of our team.
When you are working with the Z Team, you will find that not only are they down-to-earth people, but they are trained professionals who work with downsizers, first-time homebuyers, and clients who may want to relocate to our beautiful Ozarks. Our team has agents who specialize in lake and river properties, listing and selling raw land, acreage, and all residential homes. Listing your property with the Z Team will help get it sold with unmatched Century 21 global marketing. You can find out more at retiretoarkansas.net.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment, their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
When I go
7:18. It's always good to have good friends on the show. Ty Cotter's here and appreciate what Ty Cotter does in his ministry. It's good to see you, man. How you been?
Good to see you guys too. Been doing great.
You got lots of news for us, so it's all yours, man.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you guys give me some time here to really share about what all God has been doing through the ministry, and really wanted to give like a recap from last year. And last year was, it's going on 5 years and since we had gotten here with the ministry, and seen a lot of things happen, but this last year you could tell that we really got our feet underneath us and we really got some structure in place and some things are going really good. But we had 3 times the graduates in 2019 than any other previous year. We averaged like 50 to 60 residents, and really when I say that, it's averaging 35 to 40 at the men's home, really 18 to 20 at the women's home. And so really both homes were full all year last year, actually over full. And so which we already have plans to expand already to add beds, 30 to the men's home, 30 to the women's home, and we're going to believe God for what that looks like this year. We've already got some groundbreaking. We don't have much money, but we built a really nice commercial facility for the men's home with $3,000 in the bank to start out with, and the community really rallied behind us. And so we believe that as we begin breaking ground, we'll get the community behind us, and we'll have added these beds. We've told quite a few people no for about 3 months now. I'd say about 20 to 30 people we've been telling them, that we can't help them at this time. And y'all know that the issue is just growing. It's not getting any better. But what we liked about last year is, when we say people graduate, we are walking them through the wreckage of their past, who they become through the addiction, the restoration process, depending on their circumstances with family and children and loved ones. And then at the end, we're helping them with, obtaining an employable job, or gainful employment, their own bank account, hopefully a vehicle, their driver's license. Most of the guys or women that come in, they don't have their own birth certificate, their own social security card, or a lot of times we try to get them on insurance if we can, medical insurance. And so there's a lot of things that need to be in place even before they get a job. And then we help them with money management once they get their job, budgeting. So a lot of them come out with debt paid off, so they don't have to walk out the door owing 5 different places and pay rent. And so that's been a big deal. But we've walked a lot of people in 2019 in their own place with their own keys. They drove their own car there, and we had people from the community come together, and pretty much for all of them, almost everything they needed was provided through the community, like a TV, some silverware, a couch. And so it's been neat that they have such a leg up. So when they leave us, they've got a year clean or longer. Some of them stayed 15 months, one of them 18 months, because they wanted to finish off their debt. They wanted to get some other things cleared out before they took that step. But it's been neat to know that they're taking a step where they have, no excuse not to make it, because everything has, they'd worked for it, not been giving it to them, but they have worked for everything. And so it's been neat to see that, even just having vehicles donated, the last year we were able to donate a couple of those to the men and women that were graduating, depending their circumstance. So it's been really neat to see that. One thing we really loved was the education. So we changed things up. We have a portfolio for like every man and woman. So we just went through them last week and opened it up. There's a picture of their face and a description of who they are, where they came from, how many kids they have, what jobs they've ever held, what education have they ever had. And so we're looking through that, and what we've been encouraging is further education, or at least waiting to get a job that is a little more stable than your basic, jobs, and not that we're against, fast food or waitressing, or, you got to start somewhere. Yeah. But we try to make sure they know that let that be a stepping stone to the next place, not your permanent place. And so we've seen several seek further education through ASU here at Mountain Home. And so we had 3 of them get GEDs last year. We had 2 of them get vocational degrees. And the vocational degrees, they were hired on spot. And really? So they landed great jobs. And we had 2 more actually sign up for associate's degrees. And they had actually started school just as they were transitioning out. Good. They're actually both still in school. One of them made the dean's list. Yeah, so that was exciting.
Okay, I got to ask. Okay, so you've seen these folks at rock bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, lower than a gopher's basement here. Yeah. And now you've got somebody on the dean's list. What's it do to their self-esteem?
You can't. You can't mark that. Yeah, no, you can't. No. There's no way to.
Because you see the potential. I mean, I walk into your place strung out. Oh man, what am I going to do? You may owe $3,000 or $4,000, and you're hopeless. And you can see the potential.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you walk, you think if you have, the mess that we get ourselves in an addiction. We've had guys owe 3 different counties fines. We've had guys on top of child support. And how do you pay? $500 a month to keep from going to jail, and then pay $800 for bills and rent. It's hard for one person to do that. And so allowing them to get that debt. But I want to say, even on the education, we got a grant at the beginning of 2019 for $20,000 from Delta Dental. And it was amazing because out of all the groups, it was, I I don't want to say a number because I think I'd be out of place. I don't really know it, but I would say over 50. I want to say near 100, but it was over 50 grants given at this big venue in Little Rock, and we were one of the only places that was not a dentist office or a dentistry that received this $20,000 grant. And it was cool because we partnered with Coleman Dentistry, Family Dentistry, and he really extended that thing to $27,000, and so we were able to do $27,000 of much needed dental work in 2019 for our residents.
It does a lot for Brad Coleman.
Yes, it does. It does. Amazing guy. Love those folks down there. They've just been a blessing to us. But to see, like you just said, think about self-esteem. You got, say, a lady who has just been through the ringer, and if I can just be, while we're talking on the radio, you got someone who's been, let's say, sexually abused as a child, left alone throughout their teenage years by their parents, never knew her daddy, and then just got into a bad relationship, started in addiction, ran her life into the ground, has never felt like anything before, hasn't had teeth in 15 years, and then all of a sudden God restores them in right relationship with him, does a work in their heart, and so now they believe in themselves and have a purpose, and then all of a sudden they're getting the physical things together in life they've never had together, and now they can smile. I mean, this is huge. Yeah. Now they can look someone in the eye, and without covering their mouths to smile, they can smile with all they got, because now they finally got some joy in their life. And so it's neat. And then when they seek further education, it's like, wow, I can, we always say in addiction, we always limit when we come out of addiction, we always limit ourselves to what we've ever done in life. And so we're like, whoa, so I asked the question, what would you like to do? Well, I cut grass before. I've cut a few trees down. Well, I'm not asking, what you have done before. I'm saying, when you were a small boy, what did you always want to do? When you were growing up, what aspirations have you ever had in life? To get really the challenge, the men and women that coming out of addiction, to think bigger for themselves. Think bigger. Just making it is great. And it's good that addiction is behind you, but let's find some real purpose. And so it's been neat to see that take place.
I was on the phone with a good friend yesterday. We were talking about positive attitudes. You're going to get nowhere thinking negative all the time.
Yeah.
I'm so just hearing the excitement in your voice. When what still rings throughout my memory real quick here is the person on the dean's list.
Yeah.
I was never on the dean's
list. I'm in school
the black
right now,
list.
I'm not on the dean's list.
But the dean's list.
Yeah.
But seriously.
Yeah.
I mean.
And this, to go further in that story without, spare some
Sure,
details, but I mean, this particular guy was a sergeant in the Marine Corps. He was there for 8 years, and he was a sergeant before he came out. But when he got on meth when he got out, and it ruined his life. I mean, he lost everything. I mean, he was going, he was psycho. Like, I met with him before he came into the home, and it was like all I wanted him to do was go to sleep and eat something, because he thought people were coming after him, the same psychological issue you see with people really strung out on meth. But, I mean, this guy had assault rifles with him, and he thought people were trying to kill him. I mean, he was that nutty. And couldn't even hold a conversation with the guy. And to hear now,
is that because of the meth?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, listen.
Man, I have. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I have to say, because he did go to war a few times.
Yeah.
And it did hurt him psychologically.
Sure, yeah,
but I will say, all the anxiety and stuff that he was dealing with that would freak him out before the meth added to the equation. Yeah. So it made it extreme. But I will tell you today, and he graduated last year, but today God has restored a long-time relationship, and he is now married. He just recently had another baby. He has his kids back in his life on top of everything we're talking about. But I will say this, since God has healed some places in his heart, and addiction has been far from him, he will sit here today and tell you that anxiety has no rule over him either, that he has no more issues from his war-torn mind and heart today like he did before.
That's great.
And so I've even asked the governor, where's the psychological studies on why does a criminal break into a house? Why does a criminal, or why does a person try coke or meth or this? Why? What are they looking for, Ty?
that's a broad question, or can be a
Or
broad
are they
answer.
escaping from something?
Yes,
perhaps?
yes. So the easiest way for me to say this is, a lot of times it'll be because, and you can't narrow this thing into one answer, but a lot of times there are issues in life that we're trying to cope with, and when we experiment with getting high, we find it's an escape, and we enjoy being in that place of escape from the reality that we lived in, or the thing that is torturing us all our lives because we've never talked about it, we've never asked for healing on it. So a psychologist that I had spoke to a couple of years ago, he said, Ty, the worst problem we have is getting people off the street drugs long enough to properly diagnose their mental condition. And he said, if we could get them off that before we see them, that would be great, because then I could really go on the problem. And so with what you're saying is, or the question you're asking, I'm going to go back to that. So yes, sometimes it's from a trauma as a child. Some of us were raised in addiction. I was. My mom and dad were both in addiction, and it was an open deal. I'd fetch my mom's weed box underneath the couch. My dad drank all the time. They fought all the time. There was drugs in the house. I remember seeing, either meth or cocaine, I don't know, white stuff that I would put up before my little brothers got up for school. I don't know, as far as I can remember, 11, 12 years old, to know that it was the right thing to do, I guess. But so some of us are raised in that. Some of us had a trauma that we found a way of escape. We partied with some friends and we said, wow, man, when I got drunk, I forgot what my dad did to me. And I don't mind getting drunk anymore. And then a lot of times, let's say for the prescription guy that you hear about today in our demographic of people here in Baxter County, they hurt their back in a car accident. They get put on a medication to help alleviate the pain for a season, and then it becomes a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the pill you needed to help with your back pain you're dependent on it. In 15 years, you've been a hydrocodone. And you wonder why your marriage is falling apart, And so I met a guy, I didn't meet a guy. Well, I guess I could say this. My own dad slipped into this deal. After being in addiction for years, he found God. His life was changed, and for years he was good. But he realized, wow, I'm not abusing my prescription, but I've been taking it for years. I was prescribed it, and I take it as needed, or not as needed, but as prescribed. He's like, but I feel like this thing might have a hold of me, and if that's the case, I'd rather deal with the pain, because I will not go back to addiction. And we have to get within ourselves and say, hey, if just because the doctor prescribed it, I'm trying to get on a high horse here. Excuse me, doctors. But
go right in.
I'm not saying that people don't need medication, but what I am saying that even in the line of work that we do, hundreds of men, we did a little study a couple of years, hundreds of men that had came through the home. I want to say the number was around 40% out of hundreds, 300, 40% were on some type of psychological medication or some type of painkiller. And I will say that 3 out of that 40% of the 300, did we have to find another place for them to go because we could not, they could not handle coming off the prescription. And so tell me that's not a number. And so in the addiction world, a prescription, there's a market for it. So I go to the doctor if I hurt my ankle, and I'll just continue to tell him it hurts. I'll continue to get my prescription. I'm talking about stuff that no one wants to talk about here. But and I continue to get my prescription. Well, guess what? I don't care if my ankle hurts or not. As long as my doctor's giving me the hydros that he keeps giving me, I could trade them for meth. And I don't even need money anymore, nor do I need a job. I take my prescription, I trade it for the street jug of my choice or the one that I love the most, and that's how. And so every first of the month when that prescription's filled, the dope man he's gaining every time that prescription comes in. And so there's a serious market now, not to say there are people that need this, but we cannot let it get so deep in us that we push off our addiction on a doctor's prescription. And that's what we've been doing.
And with that, we need to take a break. More with
Thanks
Ty
for
Cotter.
letting me preach.
You betcha. Ty is going to be right back after this break. More with Ty Cotter from Care Center right after this.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire Barbershop today, a unique gentleman's barbershop. Get back in style with 2 experienced licensed barbers who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and are happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 1041 Highland Circle, Suite 55 in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
Did you know when you shop at Sears Hometown Stores, you are supporting your local community? That's right. Your local Sears Hometown Store is locally owned and operated by one of your neighbors. Their store offers the best of what Sears has to offer with the top brands and appliances, tools, and lawn and garden. They also offer great financing options that work no matter what you need. Remember to stop by your local Sears Hometown Store today and support a local member of your community.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care of Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn and Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn and Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
At MSI,
736 Revision with Ty Cotter, pastor of Care Center Ministries. And for needed items, if you want to drop off clothes or shoes, perhaps socks, undergarments, men's clothing, women's clothing, drop them off at 511 South Main Street in Mountain Home.
Yeah.
Anything else you need, like toiletry items, laundry?
Those
basic household stuff.
Yeah, your basic household stuff, toilet paper, bleach, those kinds of things are always big. We use them all the time. So.
All right, pick it up where we left off.
Well,
go.
Well, we'll leave the last subject, but I just wanted to make sure that I expressed too the relationship with the community. So, as some of y'all know, that we stepped in to just be a blessing on however we can and adopted Hickory Park, and we started our paint projects, which we got a lot of people, with a lot of good feedback on the paint that we've already put on, and we got a little more to go and some more projects. And so anyway, but it was neat to just establish a relationship with the city that said, hey, is there a place where we can give back in the community to where we can just plant ourselves for a minute and really do something to make a difference? And so we came up, we asked about Hickory Park, and the mayor was just totally on board. The city councilman, all the city council was just a blessing to say, man, y'all would really want to do that? Man, that would be awesome, jump in there and let's do some things. And so we got together and got some ideas, but we really wanted to show that not just us doing it, but the community helping. So on our paint projects, we had different churches, Thrivent Financial, got behind us and donated some money just to help us get in there and get it done. And they came and served as well. And so that was big. And then even this, we have barbecue grills that we're having custom made by a new business in town called Metal Manipulations. Cody Gott is running that. And so he started that. He actually graduated ASU, got a welding degree, and graduated top of his class and started a business here in Mountain Home. And so it was just neat because he's like, hey, man, you get the material and I'll custom build them for free. And so he welded them all up. So we have 4 barbecue grills that he had welded up commercial, like the ones you see at the campgrounds. He did a fantastic job. And so we're going to get a plan together. So we will plant them in there. So we'll have barbecue grills at Hickory Park for more family, real inviting for family. And we have some other projects ahead too. But just to see the churches that have begun to get behind us in 2019 were amazing. And did you know, Well, before I get there, the law enforcement, the city of Mountain Home, sheriff's department, police department, I mean, all these people we have such great relationships with that we have established. The judges, the prosecutors, the court systems, they're just so far behind us. It is amazing. We've just been so grateful for that. But one thing is we added up all the businesses. So there was around 120 businesses in 2019 alone in Mountain Home that supported us in 2019, whether it was with their services or with their product or financially. And so it's been amazing. So if we received anything from them, we wrote down their business name. And so I just thought, thank you, Mountain Home. All the businesses, churches, and the community that has really gotten behind us, because none of this is possible. All those things I rattled off about how great everything is. I mean, families restored. You can't make that stuff up. And what's the price to pay for a guy to get his life changed and for a child to get his daddy back?
Amen.
I mean, this is huge. Yeah. And so, but none of this is possible without the community getting behind us, and they really have, and we're so grateful for that. And so that's been a big deal. I want to say, wrapping up the news for 2019, we also have a man and woman that graduated at home, and they got associate's degrees in biblical studies through the ministry. They're ordained pastors through the ministry, and I married them back in the fall, and they are called to go back home in Springfield, Missouri area, and they're going to plant another care center ministry. So we're going to send them out to start another one in that area. I don't know if y'all have been paying attention, but they had new stats in Springfield where I think they said the last I looked was 1.5 persons overdose a day. I forget how many. It was like 45 a month, so you figured about 1.5 a day that are dying in the city of Springfield.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is huge. Yeah. And so anyway, so we're glad to be able to send someone out to start another one. And again, we are 95. I have to say this. We are 95, and I think I'm going a little low on the number. 95% funded right here in this community. Like we get random checks from another state, from somebody who has a child or loved one with us, because we do take people from Oklahoma or wherever, and so they every now and then we'll see a check come in. But 95% we are all community funded. We don't have a large denomination backing us. We do come from a 30-year ministry in Dallas, but we're autonomous. Yeah. We're covered by them spiritually, and they help guide us and lead us. But we are on our own when it comes to funding and support, and God has been faithful. So we believe that same for Springfield when they launch that. So, amen.
Can you share what you said before we got on the show?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that? I think that's amazing.
Yes. Okay, let me think about how to start this. So the real new news that has been just monumental for the ministry, and not just for the ministry, but throughout the state of Arkansas. This is so huge. So I'll give kind of a backstory. Back in the end of October, I'd got a call from the state. And, they literally said we had 60 residents about that time. And we got a call and said, hey, who's all on probation? And we told them, and they said, well, it was 24 people at the time. And it's a third of our people. And mind you, they said, hey, they have to go because you're not licensed by the state. And so obviously, what a punch in the stomach, if I could say it like that, that had happened, because, in my mind, I'm thinking about these 24 individuals, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, this guy has, fighting cancer and coming out of addiction. This guy is believing God for his marriage and on the brink of divorce, and this guy is awaiting a prison sentence, and we believe he's changed and can make this right. All these things, so I'm seeing individually these people's lives. And so they're saying, hey, they got to go. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, is this why? And they said, well, it's illegal in the state of Arkansas for you not to be licensed to have more than one probationer underneath your roof at any given time. And so immediately I thought of all the other organizations across the state, especially the ones in our region that we know of, and I'll go ahead and name them, like John 3:16, Teen Challenge, other organizations. And so, I called them. And I said, hey, if I was a guy on probation and I want to come into your home, what is it that I have to do to get in? And they said, well, it's easy. Get a court order from the judge or get a release from your probation officer. And I said, okay, great. I said, that's great. So are you all state licensed? And they said, absolutely not. No, we're a 501c3 nonprofit, faith-based program. We're not, funded by the state, nor are we, governed by them. And so I thought, okay, well, I came back with that phone call, on Monday, and I said, well, hey, what about these things? And they said, no, it's still illegal. We've turned our heads for years because we know it works. They said, look, the only reason we haven't said anything for years is because we know faith-based programs work, and we want people to get help too, So I thought, well, how do we fix this? And they said, look, you look into the license we have, and let's talk. And so we got to look into the license, me and some of my board members and key people on the team, and we just went through the whole thing, and we discovered all kinds of reasons why we couldn't, as a faith-based nonprofit, obtain this license and maintain the integrity of the ministry. And so with that being said, we weren't willing to budge. Now, mind you, not getting the license wasn't going to stop what God's doing through the ministry. It was just going to stop us from helping a demographic of people that needs us the most. Yeah. And so they all need us, but here we are with a group that really do need us. And so our hearts were broken that was going to be the case. And so really crawled up the tree there and really started talking to some key people in the community and in the state. And really just asked for some help on how to deal with this situation. I was really going to be heartbroken to tell these 24 people to relocate, and especially their parents. My thought was, how many, if our 24 had to go, then that means y'all are going to look at everybody else in the state, I'm sure. And so everybody else's faith-based nonprofit probationers have to go if they're not licensed by you. So I'm thinking in my mind, that's hundreds, if not 1,000 people. And so with that being said, how many mamas would be crawling up the governor's step, beating on the door, crying about, hey, my baby was dying. He's now finding life, and you're telling me figure out another place for him to go? Yeah, that's this is like on the brink of destruction. The guy almost died. We get calls all the time. Man, I pulled the trigger. The bullet didn't go off. I guess I need to call y'all. I need help. And I'm thinking, man, or I just got out of the hospital. They just revived me. And it's apparent that I'm supposed to be alive. And so if you think God has something for me, when can you pick me up? Those kind of things. So when I think 24 got to go, I'm thinking these guys could die the moment they go back out or just finally finish it off. And so with that being said, I'm thinking that it's just a big burden on me. And so we just began taking all the steps necessary to talk to all the people we needed to talk to. And finally, we had a meeting and with Benny Magnus and some of the people that run the ADC licensing.
Arkansas Department of Corrections
licensing. And so we all sat down with some of my board members, and we really got into a conversation. And it was neat because we didn't know what to expect in the meeting. But what I loved is it was obvious that Benny Magnus had took a special interest in fighting for us and seeing something changed. And it was neat also that during the conversation you could tell that Arkansas Department of Corrections and Benny Magnus, that they wanted to, they didn't want us not to help people, and they wanted to figure something out, but they didn't quite know what, and neither did we. And so with that being said, Benny had made a statement. He said, the problem we have is we got to get Ty licensed. The problem I have is that the problem Ty has is that he doesn't want to change a bunch of his rules. And he said the problem I have is that why would we make him change a bunch of his rules if his rules work? And he said the community and the judges in the area want this to work. Whatever we got to figure out to make this work, I need to know about it. So he said, hey, you guys get in a discussion. Ty, you find out what rules you cannot change. Get them on a document for me. Keep in mind the whole state of Arkansas, not just yourself, and get that document on my desk as soon as possible. And so, and even the folks from Arkansas Department of Corrections, they said, hey, look, if Benny's going to go as far as to vote in another license throughout the whole state, then you keep the whole state in mind, but also be mindful that we're going to hold you to a bar. You know, you're going to have to set the standard because we believe in your program. And the reason why they've never had this is because, and the guy made it clear, he said, Ty, for every one of you, there's 10 more crooked throughout the state trying to make money off these people. You know, and he said, we know that you're not, but that doesn't change everybody else.
Yeah.
And so, but you can see it clearly through the investment in the men and women that we put an investment into them, not into our pockets, and it's apparent in their lives. Yeah. And so they said, look, you know, so anyway, we got together as a board. We really, you know, drew up a license kind of as if the state would have done it themselves, and we translated it into what we call the probation only, but was voted in under a non-vendor license. And so we really worked together, and Benny really you know, communicated with me quite a bit. I communicated with him quite a bit, and we finally got it all figured out. And January 24th of 2020, the ADC voted in a new license for the whole state of Arkansas. Yeah, it's huge throughout the whole state of Arkansas, to where a faith-based nonprofit can be who they are, not overseen for safety of people, but not governed nor financed by the state.
Good.
Which is huge, because we're able to maintain who we are as a ministry. We're able to get our support right here, and we're not governed to where we're told, you know, everything that we have to do or how we have to run different things. We can still keep Christ the center of this thing. We can still just do what we do. Yeah. And so it's amazing. But, you know, even they had mentioned, you know, it's been a long time since these laws have been in place, and we know something needs to change. We have a drug epidemic. Yep. How can the state work better with people like your organization to further help people in need?
You said Senator Scott Flippo was helpful in that too?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Thank you, Senator.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
We need to take a break. 7:50 more with Ty Cotter right after this.
At MSI, they're not just another trash service. They're your friendly, family-owned and operated trash service, providing residential, commercial, and roll-off pickup. MSI offers competitive rates and services 5 counties in the north central Arkansas area. Various dumpster sizes available for commercial and accommodating you with weekly pickup for your convenience. Call Tammy or Kathy today at MSI. MSI Trash Service, small enough to know you and large enough to service you.
Driftwood Lanes. Fun happens here.
Experience the best in Mexican dining. Letty's in Gassville. Open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday till 3 on Sunday with delicious breakfast served all day. Enjoy an authentic Mexican lunch or dinner. 99-cent tacos on Thursday. Seniors 10% discount every day. And don't forget to try their new, fresh, never frozen premium steaks. And keep it piping hot with the table grill. No time? Give Letty's a call today to have your order to go waiting for you. Experience the best in Mexican dining. Letty's in Gassville.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
When you need durable and
You think any of us will ever count forward again after doing TV? Anyway, it's 7:53. Visit with Ty Cotter. Close out the show with Ty and talking about Care Center Ministries. What do we need to cover next? I mean, you've covered a lot of ground today
Yes.
with some amazing.
Well, I'd have to say, I said it when we were at a break, that it's a testament to how well Care Center does because of you, Ty. You're the leader of that group, and you're doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
How do we you've got people that graduate and you got a lot of successes. does anybody ever stumble back into, and how do you keep your...
Yeah, good question, and you can't, again, this is hard to measure as well. To give you the extremes, we've had guys go and relapse the day they graduated, the day after they graduated, but then come right back and maintain sobriety. And it's almost like, I heard this statement the other day, and it kind of seemed that relapse is part of recovery and you don't have to stay there. Well, I don't think it has to be part of your recovery. Yeah. But we have seen several people stumble after they graduated, or we've seen several people come in for a few months, 4 and 5 months, and go plug into a church, get connected with some people, and stay, so like today, have their families and doing well. But we've also seen those who have graduated, done well, and then went back and then realized, wait a minute, it's almost as if they had to get slapped one more time before they finally said, why did I do that? I've gotten called, man, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm like, well, thank God you called me, you confessed it, you got it out of the way, and get some accountability around you and keep on running. It's not the end of the road, end of the race. Yeah. And so we have seen several stumble when they've gotten out, but they get their legs back and they keep going because they're reminded of how bad this thing really is. When you've never been on your feet, for some reason in addiction, they think, well, cool, I'm on my feet now, I can handle a little bit. And they do a little bit of, whoa, I don't want this, I'm on my feet, let me stay on my feet. And so that's a hard question to answer because there's so many variables involved.
When you're mowing wet grass, you can even shut down a 5-horsepower lawnmower with getting everything clogged up. You know what I'm saying? And you can get you can be going along good and get clogged up again, and you got to clean it all out again and restart.
Yeah, we called back 2019, at the end of 2019 or near the end, we called the graduates back. And called them, and so several of them had stumbled from the time they graduated to the time we called. But when we made those phone calls, 90% of the people that graduated, 90, really they said 95, and I really felt like 90 was safe. And so, but 90% of them have remained clean. And so even through a hiccup or a stumble, that today their lives are manageable and they have their stuff together. And so that was 90% of the graduates, which is a big number, but we made the phone calls and those were the answers we got.
What you got for it? We got 4 minutes before we have to end the show. What you got real quick? We can fit in 4 minutes.
I don't know what else I could say.
I think what I took from that was never stop trying.
Yes,
there you go.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, there's so many times that, it's just like going to the gym or a diet. You mess up and you're like, oh, well, I blew it, let's just screw the whole deal.
Yeah,
but
that doesn't mean it's the end.
No, because we've seen too many. I mean, I have to share this in just a few minutes. I remember a guy. He was graduating Sunday morning. He had an amazing job. Got his vehicle. Got a small cabin near his workplace. I mean, everything was manageable. Started his kid back in his life, we moved him into that cabin Saturday. He got high before he got to the cabin, never made it to his graduation day, and blew it for about 4 months. And then called me a year later, crying, saying God's using him, that he's been restored back to God. He got back on his feet. He married a good Christian woman. He has all his kids back in his life. He's plugged into a church and teaching a Bible study or something. I forget what it was called. And he told me, he said, look, I know I blew it royally when I left. But because of everything you all taught me, I'm on my feet and my life is together. And I just thought, well, that's still a success.
That's right.
I don't care if you blew it when you walked out the door. Your life is together and you've never had it together. And today you have what you have, and so you can't.
Miracles can happen.
Yes, yes sir. They can.
Amazing. Some great stories here. And so the Care Center Ministry, you're going to be kicking that off in Springfield. About how soon you reckon?
Soon. They're up there today meeting with the local drug task force committee just to talk to them about the need. They met with some people yesterday from a local church in the area that really is on in a hurry to get behind us. And there's a big difference in having a recovery place that brings the people to a location and keeps them there and then lets them, and then graduates them. But we actually, part of their recovery is giving back to the community. So you don't just see a life changed, you see community changed. And so that's the big difference that you see through Care Center Ministries, and that's why it's being so well received right now as we know it.
Wow. What a ministry! Wow. And how long you been up and running now in the Mountain Home area?
This is our 5th. Yeah, we'd start our 5th year, I guess, in April.
Yeah.
So we came here in 2015. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome, and it's made a huge difference.
Yeah.
I remember when they were kicking this stuff off. Wow. I mean, just, not much more than toothpicks and popsicle sticks to try to prop
really?
this thing up. And now look at it and go.
Yeah.
David, your thoughts? It's pretty cool, isn't it?
A lot of people saw the benefit of it, and the way you have led it is why I think you've had so much help from the community, because they can see that it means so much to you.
Yeah.
Especially you yourself coming out of addiction.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's just you found your calling.
Amen.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good,
Yeah, we started, I always say, we started in a 6-bedroom house right over here that we had just enough support to pay that rent and pay the electric bill on that house. We didn't have food money, we didn't have gas money, we didn't have phone money, we didn't have no money, and we got a donated vehicle from a guy's mother that I used to get high with, so we had that donated vehicle, and my mother, I think, bought us our first round of groceries.
Oh my Lord.
And that's how we started. Yeah.
I hate to end this for about 15 seconds. Thanks, Ty, for being here. Support Care Center Ministries.
Man, we appreciate it.
511 South Main Street, Mountain Home. Got to run. See you tomorrow.
All right, thank you.